So we have here our dynamic closures sample sheet, which has a series of sample gates ready for copying and pasting into your own Revit projects. If we zoom in here, you'll see we have a set of instructions which provides you with information on how to go about this in a typewritten format. Just as our first step, we're going to take a look at working with the Revit materials that you'll need to show these gates the way that we have intended them to be shown. So we're going to go up to our File menu, select Options, and here we're going to look at our Rendering tab. And for our Rendering tab, what you're going to do is add a specific location for your material assets. So you'll come in, select the plus sign, come in, select the ellipses button to navigate to that location. And here I've saved the Dynamic Closures Revit materials to a common Revit materials folder, and I have identified that. So now those materials should be available for you to render appropriately in your project. Now I'm going to show you here how to go ahead and draw some of the railing with the Dynamic Closures gate styles. I'm going to go ahead and activate this view. We're going to go to the Architecture tab and the Railing tool, and you're going to go ahead and pick out the railing style that you want. I'm going to go ahead and pick out the EL525. It's going to take you to your drawing tools, and we'll select a series of lines, arcs, go ahead and finish that. And there you have it. We have our floor plan view and we have our 3D view. So we're going to show you how to create a set of gates that are a different height than we have for our typical examples. We've created a series of 10-foot tall sample files in here, and each one of your projects is going to have different needs. So first we're going to go over to the Profiles. Find this in your project browser under Profiles and Gate Rail Profile. We'll go ahead and duplicate the standard 10-foot gate typical. Then come in and rename that profile. We're going to use 12 feet as an example. And double click on this to open up the type properties. And here we need to add an additional 2 feet to this to match a 12-foot gate instead of a 10-foot gate. So we'll adjust that height to be 10 foot 11 5/8. Next, we're going to go into our railings, and let's say we're going to go ahead and use the EL525 gate as our sample file. Again, you're going to look over into your project browser, into the families under railings. We'll find our EL525 10-foot height. We're going to duplicate that, rename it to be a 12-foot height. Now to follow our naming scheme, we need to go into the properties of that railing. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that. That'll open the type properties. We'll select our railing structure to edit that railing structure. And we need to modify the profile that we're using. So that's what we changed in that first step. We'll select our 12-foot gate. And then we also need to change our top support and our track, again to be a 2-foot difference from our standard typical 10-foot height. So go ahead and select those, select apply, and OK. So just to show how this is going to work, we're going to select our sample. We're going to copy that over a few feet. Go ahead and change the name to be a 12-foot high gate. And adjust the specific railing type that's shown. And there you have our 12-foot height.